Hello everybody and welcome to Clear Path Guidance and Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to do Howard Stern and his wife Beth. One of my viewers had commented that this would be a good couple to do. So I'm going to read him and then read on the relationship. Okay, so when I think about Howard Stern, I feel that this man is totally different to the public than he is when he's at home. So he's a shock jock. He is a radio personality. He's been doing it for many, many years. I looked it up. His birthday is like in January, so he is a Capricorn. He's very methodical, and everything that he does, I feel, is well planned out and laid out. I think he knows what he's doing. This man is not dumb. So he knows how to draw the crowd in. He is, like I said, methodical, very thought out, everything. So I know that he would have strippers on there and, that kind of a stuff. Even though during the show, I feel like, things are, I think he kind of surprises himself sometimes. So the things that he does and the things that he says, he just can't help himself, right? So, but I just feel he's so different. Like he's loud and he's boisterous and, talking about all kinds of taboo things, perhaps. But when he goes home, I think I feel like it's a totally different man. I feel like over the years, like everybody else, he has grown up. I don't think, again, I've listened to his shows here and there over the years, but I probably haven't listened to his show. Like I don't have satellite radio, so I don't listen to his show. But I feel like he has matured, and the older he has gotten, the more deeper he's gotten with deeper topics and subjects. He's very curious, and he likes to get to the root of. He's like a psychologist. He wants to know why people do what they do. It's like he'll sit and he will ask questions as, why did you do this? What led you to do this? I get that he's like deep. And I don't think he was like that before. Before it was like having strippers on the show or hookers or, shocking people because he needed the ratings. But I feel like over time his show has changed to being more deeper and wiser and getting to the bottom. He's curious. He wants to know. He wants to know. He wants to know why people behave. It's like human nature. I think that intrigues him. So when he goes home, I feel he's a different person. It's like operates at a certain vibration when he is on the air, and then when he comes home, it's like he deflates. And I don't feel he is high maintenance. So when he goes home, it's like he just wants someone to love him. He just wants someone to not look after him, but as long as he has a warm bed, as long as he has food on the table, and as long as the house is clean, sort of a thing, he doesn't care. I don't feel he's a high maintenance sort of a guy that needs, like, his wife is a very beautiful woman, but I don't feel like he's a very demanding husband. It's like he's very fair that way. So I feel that it's like the audience gets the best of him. So when he's on the air, it's like, how they say comedians are the most depressed. The comedians are the funniest on stage, and then when they go home, it's like they're depressed. I get the same sort of a thing. I get a little bit of depression from him. And so the radio people, the audience gets the best of him. They get the vibrant Howard Stern that is out there and energetic. But when he gets home, I'm not saying he's a couch potato, but when he gets home, it's like he's completely different. I feel he's somewhat withdrawn and almost to the point where she's like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you not yourself? And I think sometimes it worries her. I don't think that they don't get along. I just feel that she gets worried about him. And then I feel like he's ready for the next day. It's like he gives his all, and he gives it to the audience, and he gives it to the listeners. And his wife, when he gets home, I feel like his wife gets what's left over, which is tiredness. Because I really feel like he goes. And sometimes, the people that you love should get the best of you, right? The energy and the fun-loving. But I'm not saying he's not fun-loving, but I think you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say, that when he goes home, it's like he crashes. And goes in, I'm not saying a depressed state all the time, but somewhat of a depressive state where he just withdraws, doesn't really want to talk to her or anybody. He just wants to veg. Because I really do feel this takes a lot out of him when he's, I don't know how long his radio show is, if it's like an hour every day, or if it's 3 hours, or if it's all day long. I don't know. But I feel that she does worry. She worries about him, and she's younger. I know she's younger. He married a younger woman. He's got to be like in his 50s. He's got to be like 55, 56. And I think I think he must have at least 15 years on her. So, I mean, I don't think that I think he's a young 50-some-year-old person. You know how there's, you can be an old 40-year-old or a young 40-year-old. I feel he's a young 50, like how old is he? I think he's like 56, 54. I think he's a young 54-year-old person. He's young. But again, when he goes home, I feel like he just kind of crashes. And she gets what's left of that, which is really not much. So I feel that she can be frustrated sometimes because he doesn't stop, when he should. He needs to take a little bit more breaks and rejuvenate and energize, because I really do think that by the time he's done his work day, it's just too much. And he doesn't need to put on airs for her. And I'm not saying he's putting on airs for us, but he needs to entertain. He needs to be that shock jock, and it does take a lot out of him. So when he goes home, he's himself. He can be himself. And sometimes I think it brings her down. That I just feel like when he gets home, he doesn't really want to do a whole lot. She's like, let's go do something. That's kind of what I get from that. I don't think that this marriage is like in trouble. I think that she's accepted who he is, and she tries to help him, and it's like he doesn't want to be helped. He is who he is. This is how I am. This is what I am, and you need to accept me for what I am. And she does. But I think at times she gets frustrated with him because he does run out of energy. I think, he just wants to be left alone. Not by, just I want to relax is what I get from him. Okay? Okay, so let's shuffle the cards, see what comes up. What are the messages regarding... I get depression with him. I do feel that there's just withdrawn and depression. She understands him, though, so she really does try to understand and help him. What are the messages regarding Howard Stern? 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 Okay, so we have the first card, which is about judgment. It's about him trying to get clarity on situations. It's about trying to find his purpose, and he has found it in doing what he's doing. He's happy doing it. I think he'll do this for a very long time. So this is about trying to get clarity on his life, perhaps. It's about making decisions. It's about your purpose. He's got victory. All right, so the Six of Wands talks about victory, it's awards, it's recognition, it's good news, it's about being the boss. That's exactly what he is. He's the boss. And he likes the awards and the admiration he gets. There's victory here with him. And then there's the Lovers. So So he's met the right person. You know, she is quite understanding, but, you know, I think sometimes, like, when he gets into these depressive states and doesn't snap out of it, it does frustrate her. But this here is about partnership, and it's about deep love, and it's just balance. And, you know, I think that they do make she understands him. He wants someone to understand him, and she does. Even though it frustrates her, she understands him. What are the messages regarding Howard and Beth? What are the messages regarding Howard and Beth? What are the messages regarding Howard and Beth? Howard and Beth. She's a Cancer, I believe. So what I'm doing is I'm shuffling till one card falls out. If more than one card falls out, I put it back in the deck. The one card that falls out is Clarity card or Jumper. Those are the only ones that I read. What are the messages regarding Howard Stern and Beth? Okay, now I'm just gonna grab my book here because now the Ace of Coins comes up. This is about, I asked about the two of them. This is about prosperity. This card also talks about a stable relationship. It talks about financial security and contentment. So there is contentment here, and there is financial security, and there is stability between the two of them. Then we have the five, so we have the Hermit. This makes sense to me. The Hermit is somebody that withdraws. So the Hermit is about going within, trying to go get personal, get clarity. It's a quest for personal truth. He's always learning, and he's always trying to become wiser. So even with her, he withdraws. There's a lot of withdrawing here. This is somebody who kind of goes it alone, makes some, tries to learn, make some changes, and then become wiser, make more decisions, or go forth. Now we have the Five of Cups. This is also a depression. It's feeling unfulfilled. It's about apathy, not understanding things. The Five of Cups. So this talks about sadness, grief. It's about personal loss. Talks about sorrow resurfacing. It's talking about dealing with bereavement. So it's about taking what you can from the experience, as there is a hope for the future. So I don't feel like I feel like this is the relationship, and it's mainly the main energies of him feeling down. You can see this guy is kind of down. He's still got, not all is lost. He's got two cups here that are still standing up, so he always knows not all is lost, but he's the energies between them. It's like I feel like he's either she's lonely or he's lonely, but again, she understands his loneliness. She understands him. She understands him. Okay, because this talks about stability. Okay? And let's ask about the future. What are the messages regarding Beth and Howard? Future messages. What are future messages regarding Howard and Beth? Okay, Howard and Beth. So we have the Five of Pentacles. So this is a card of worry, isolation, financial loss. So there's always like, it's isolation. He likes to isolate himself. I feel from her. It's his nature. It's who he is. I don't, like, again, I don't feel a guy who goes home and who's like a party animal. You know, he's got a depressive state. You know, each one of these cards, the guy's kind of like head is hanging down. Okay? There's the Queen of Swords. She's a truth-telling woman. I feel she needs to take action. She needs to tell the truth. She needs to defend she defends and she will attack. So he's got a good, strong woman here. And then there's the Star card. The Star card is about renewal. It's hope. It's inner clarity. It's miracles. They're still growing this. There is always renewal in this relationship. She's very, you know, she's a Cancer. So she's very understanding. And she's very, Cancers are very emotional and sensitive. Capricorns are not. Capricorns aren't so emotional. So she understands him even though he is not emotional. He withdraws a lot. But this is saying that the relationship always renews. Okay? All right, so that's the reading on Howard Stern and his wife, Beth. If anybody would like to get a private reading, please email me. And my email will be at the bottom. I will get back to you within 24 hours on how to get it, how to purchase a private reading. Okay? All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good night. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.